was only gone 5 minutes. But when I came back, everything had changed. The lights, the smell, the silence. I had entered the wrong apartment. Or so I thought. Have you ever felt that chill down your spine? That moment when your brain can't process what your eyes are seeing? That feeling hit me like a wave that night at Providence Estate in Lekki. You know how these new Lagos apartments all look identical, eh? Same cream paint, same black gate, same dimly lit corridors where the management is always about to fix the lights next week. The kind where every floor looks exactly like the one below it, and you are basically navigating on muscle memory half the time. I had just moved to Lagos from Enugu 6 months ago for this new marketing job. Big money, big city, small apartment I could barely afford at 3B Providence Heights. You know how Lagos landlords be now? Collecting 2 years rent up front like their houses are made of gold. That night, last Friday, I was preparing my presentation when my stomach started singing worship songs. I needed food fast. I remembered that suya spot near the estate gates, the one where the aboki always adds extra pomo if you speak a little Hausa to him. It was 11:30 p.m., just a quick run. I quickly tied my wrapper over my night dress and a little cash. I didn't even lock my door because, girl, I was literally going to be 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's all it took for my entire life to change. I jogged back to my apartment building, clutching my suya tightly, glancing over my shoulder the way Lagos girls learn to do instinctively. I climbed the 2 flights of stairs, walked down the corridor, the same one I had walked down hundreds of times before, and pushed open my door. But the moment I stepped inside, I knew something was wrong. The door creaked open like always, but the air, it smelled like lavender. I hate lavender. My ex used lavender, and I never ever use air freshener. The lights were dimmer, yellowish instead of my bright white bulbs. There were curtains, every dark purple ones. I never bought curtains like that in my life. The chairs are those old school plastic covers that reminded you of visiting your grandmother in the village. Mine never did. My second-hand leather couch from Ikeja was nowhere to be seen. And then I saw it. A pair of red stiletto heels by the door. Pristine, expensive looking. Nothing like my comfortable flats and sneakers. My heart started racing so hard I could feel it in my throat. I checked door number again. 3B. The same brass numbers I see every day. Hello? I whispered, my voice high and tight with fear. No one answered. I was sweating now, the kind of cold sweat that soaks through your night dress within seconds. My hands were shaking, but something pulled me further inside. Maybe curiosity, maybe madness, maybe that thing they say women have, intuition, telling me I needed to understand what was happening. The TV was on, playing some old Nollywood movie. I recognized Pete Edochie's voice, but the remote was on the floor, broken, like it had been thrown against the wall during a fight. As a woman living alone in Lagos, the signs of violence make my skin crawl in a way men might never understand. The kitchen doorway showed dishes neatly arranged on a rack. My dishes are never arranged. I eat, I stack, I wash when there is nothing left. Single girl life. On the wall were photos I had never seen before. A woman with a man whose face was scratched out in every picture. The calendar on the wall said 2019. I knew something was very wrong, but I couldn't move. My feet felt heavy, like they were sinking into the floor. I reached for my phone, thinking to call security, when I heard the door behind me close and lock. The sound of the lock clicking felt like thunder in that silent apartment. I turned around so fast my wrapper nearly came undone. And there she was, a woman, tall, light-skinned, designer wrapper tied around her chest, hair wrapped in a towel like she just came out of the shower, water droplets still on her shoulders. Her eyes, they weren't surprised. They were expectant. She wasn't screaming. She wasn't shocked to find a stranger in her home. She just said, "You are Ellie." Her voice was soft but clear, like she had been waiting. My brain froze. This wasn't my apartment, but it was my apartment number. This wasn't happening, but it was happening. I stammered, I don't live here." My voice sounded small, the way it does when men catcall on the streets and you are trying not to escalate the situation. She walked closer, her bare feet silent on the tiles, and whispered, "But you used to." Goosebumps covered my entire body. The hair on my neck stood up. The air felt thick, impossible to breathe. I felt trapped, vulnerable in just my thin night dress and wrapper, the way women are taught to fear being caught unprepared. I backed away until I hit the wall. "Madam, I beg. I think I entered the wrong flat." I could hear the tremor in my voice, the same one I use when talking down aggressive Okada riders or avoiding market out. She smiled, a weird, sad smile that didn't reach her eyes. "You always do." Her eyes never blinked, not once, and they looked hollow, like there was nothing behind them. She reached out her hand. Her nails were painted the same red as those heels, and I swear the temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. My mother's warnings about strange women and juju flashed through my mind. I didn't think. I yanked the door open with such force I nearly pulled it off its hinges and ran. My wrapper came loose and I didn't even care who saw me in my night dress. I didn't stop until I got to the security post downstairs, breathless, shouting, sweating, trying to explain what just happened while quickly retying my wrapper. The security man, Malam Ibrahim, who I greet every morning, looked at me with concern, the way men do when they think a woman is being hysterical. "Madam, wetin happen na? Somebody pursue you?" he asked, his torch already in hand. Between gasps, I explained everything. The woman, the lavender, the different apartment. He looked confused, scratching his head beneath his security cap. "Madam, 3B? Nobody lives there, oh. That flat has been empty for 3 years since the woman that stayed there. You know, that woman with her boyfriend." He stopped himself abruptly, making that sign Nigerians make when they don't want to speak ill of the dead. A cold feeling settled in my stomach, the kind women get when they sense danger. "Which boyfriend?" Ibrahim shook his head. "Na story wey no dey end well. The woman dem find for that apartment after 3 days. Nobody hear anything. Na only red shoe dem see beside her." My mouth went dry. "Red shoe? Like high heel?" Ibrahim nodded slowly. "How you take know?" I couldn't answer. My mind unconsciously went to my neck. where women are most vulnerable. You sure say na 3B you dey stay? He asked, now genuinely concerned. I checked my keys. The tag clearly read 3B. I checked my phone. My address saved in my Google Maps, Providence Heights, apartment 3B. Maybe na 3D you dey stay, Ibrahim suggested. The doors dey look alive for night time oo. But I knew my own apartment, didn't I? I thanked Ibrahim and told him I was probably just tired from too much work. Lagos stress no be here, I joked weakly, fixing my wrapper tightly around me like armor, trying to convince myself more than him. I went back upstairs. This time, the hallway felt different, cold. The kind of cold that seeps into your bones. My door 3B was locked with my padlock. The same one I use every day. The same one I hadn't used when I left. My hands trembled as I unlocked it. The way they do when you are walking alone at night and hear footsteps behind you. I opened the door slowly, half expecting to smell lavender again. But it was just my apartment. Same messy room, same unfinished moisturizer on the dressing table, same pile of laundry I had been meaning to do all week. Same me. I checked every corner, opened every cupboard, looked under the bed. The checks every woman living alone performs religiously. Everything was normal, except for one thing, my door key. I distinctly remember leaving it hanging in the lock when I rushed out. Night was on the table. That night I couldn't sleep. I called my mother in the village and asked her to pray. She asked what was wrong. But how could I explain? I slept with my bedroom door barricaded with a chair. Something my father taught me to do in new places. I spoke to the landlord the next day, asked casually about previous tenants. He got uncomfortable, said the property management changed 3 years ago and he didn't have those records. I asked other neighbors. Most were new like me. One old woman on the ground floor just made the sign of the cross and walked away when I mentioned 3B. But till today, 1 month later, I still smell lavender at night. Just faint traces like someone passing by my door. And sometimes when I am between sleep and wakefulness, I hear her voice. You are early. My lease is up in 5 months. I'm not renewing it. Some things in Lagos can't be explained by traffic or generator noise or island living. Sometimes, when I come home tired, I stand at my door longer than necessary, double checking the number, 3B, my apartment, my space. But whose space was it before me? And why does she think it is ours? If you have ever lived in a Lagos apartment block, tell me in the comments. Has anything strange ever happened to you? Those unexplained footsteps at 2 a.m. That neighbor no one ever sees but everyone hears. Or am I the only one living someone else's story? They say Lagos buildings have memories. Sometimes they don't let go. Like, share, and subscribe for more truish Nigerian stories that will keep you up all night if you dare to listen. And remember, always check your apartment number when you come home late. You never know who or what might be waiting.